As you're aware that this is a special session that we hold during Jalsa Salana, where we invite our friends and dignitaries and parliamentarians to come and share a few moments with us and give us their messages of love and peace to the convention. And this afternoon, again, we have a number of parliamentarians and dignitaries who will be sharing their thoughts with us. We have received a lot of messages as well. We have received some 70 messages, of which we have received more than 60 video messages. And these messages are from 27 parliamentarians, 20 are from mayors and councillors, and the rest are from dignitaries from several countries who send their messages of support. We have selected a few to share with you this afternoon. The first message is from Douglas Ross, Member of Parliament, who is the leader of Scottish Conservative Party. Douglas is a good friend of the community, and I'm pleased to be sharing his message of support with you. And the second video message this afternoon is from Right Honourable David T.C. Davis, MP, who is a Member of Parliament since 2005 and is currently serving as the Secretary of State for Wales. He's a close friend of the Jamaat as well. So let us listen to these two messages.
To once again convey my best wishes to you all at the 57th Annual Jalsa Salana, the largest annual Muslim convention in the UK. It's fantastic that you've been able to come together from across the world in such large numbers. And I'm delighted that you'll be joined by your worldwide spiritual leader, His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmed, for this incredible occasion. I'd also like to take this opportunity to celebrate the contribution made by Muslims to our society here in Scotland and across the whole of the United Kingdom. You make our communities richer in spirit, and your innovation and hard work is appreciated by us all. Yet we also know that Muslims, both in the UK and around the world, still suffer from persecution and Islamophobia. So I'd like to take this opportunity to reiterate that my party stands with you, and we will stand up for your community at every turn. So I hope you enjoy the convention and this unique opportunity to get together with friends from around the world. And I wish you, on behalf of the Scottish Conservatives, all the very best.
Hello everyone, David T.C. Davis here, the Secretary of State for Wales. I'd like to start by giving my thanks to and my support for the Muslim community in Wales, because you are a really important part of our culture. I have been lucky enough to have been offered hospitality at the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community Mosque in Cardiff. I was invited to take part in a feast there, and I can honestly say it was a wonderful occasion. Faith is a vital part of people's identities and of their communities, and the UK government fully supports the invaluable work being done by people around this country who are inspired by their faith. The UK government is committed to protecting freedom of religion and belief, freedom of religion and the ability of all people to worship where and how they wish, or not to worship at all. It is important to recognise and appreciate the contributions of the Muslim community in the United Kingdom. And your presence, the presence of the Ahmadiyya community, has enriched the cultural tapestry of our nation, bolstered our economy, and fostered a sense of unity and understanding amongst different communities. And once again, can I say how grateful I am to the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, and indeed to all of our faith groups, for everything you do and for the role you continue to play in our society.
Thank you very much. Our next two video messages, the first one is from Honourable Norma Torres, who is the member of the US Congress. She's a close friend of the community and is the co-chair of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Caucus that works to support the Jamaat. And the second message is from Seema Malhotra, Member of Parliament, who has been a Member of Parliament since 2011 and is currently serving as Shadow Minister for Business and Consumers. She is a very good friend of the Jamaat and is the vice chair of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community All-Party Parliamentary Group. So we'll now listen to these two messages.
Hello, everyone. I wish you a joyous Jalsa Salana. I'm Congresswoman Norma Torres, and I represent California's 35th Congressional District, also home of the Baitul Hamid Mosque in Chino. And I am proud co-chair of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Caucus in the United States Congress. It is a privilege to speak to the global Ahmadiyya Muslim community during this celebration of faith and togetherness. In Congress, I am fighting to raise awareness of the persecution the Ahmadi Muslims face across the globe. Your community's courage, patience, and strength in the face of adversity are extraordinary. Here in the U.S., Ahmadi Muslims advocate for other underserved communities within the same dedication as they support their own brothers and sisters all over the world. And I am grateful for your commitment to compassion, justice, and I truly enjoy partnering with you on community projects. May this year's Jalsa Salana bring you peace, hope, and spiritual guidance as always. Love for all, hatred for none.
I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to contribute to this 57th annual convention for the Ahmadiyya community, the Jalsa Salana, and to bring good wishes from colleagues in the Labour Party across the country. As you come together for the Jalsa Salana, I know that prayer and quiet reflection will bring some respite and rejuvenation of spirit. You have all contributed so much, from delivering food, medicines, and extending the hand of friendship to all. We see from the Ahmadiyya community faith in action. I want to express my appreciation of your work for peace and the leadership of Your Holiness in this regard. I am also grateful to the two mosques in my constituency, Beit al-Wahid in Hanworth and Beit al-Nur in Hounslow West, for your ongoing endeavours to support our communities locally, nationally and internationally. I am particularly grateful to former Councillor Hanif Khan and his valuable work in Hounslow and through the Voice of Islam radio. Your motto of love for all and hatred for none reaches out and sets a standard for humanity and for values in an increasingly anxious and tense world. We know also that the Ahmadiyya community has continued to suffer persecution. We stand with you for the safety of Ahmadis across the world. I look forward to joining you soon, and I wish you all a safe and peaceful convention. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next message is from Right Honourable Lord Goldsmith of Richmond, who has served in government in various ministerial posts, and most recently as the Minister of State for Overseas Territories, Commonwealth, Energy, Climate and Environment. Lord Goldsmith is a very good friend of the Jamaat and a former Vice Chairman of our APPG, and has attended many events at our various mosques. We will listen to his message now.
Hello, I'm Zach Goldsmith, and I want to send my very best wishes on the occasion of your 57th Jalsa Salana. I've long admired your peace-loving message, your sense of public service, your extraordinary fundraising efforts for charity, including your recent charity walk for peace. Now, all of this illustrates how valuable your community is in the UK and why the persecution you face, in particular in Pakistan, is so distressing. I know it's increased significantly recently, with numerous mosques and graveyards being desecrated by extremists and by local authorities this year alone. Local Pakistan police forces have also prevented Ahmadi Muslims from participating in Qurbani, or even to gather to pray on this special day. And tragically, that irrational, dangerous hatred has spread to the UK as well. We saw that recently when members of your community were harassed in Walsall by extremist activists. Now, I've worked with parliamentarians and your representatives over many years to support your community, and I will always continue to do so. We must prevent escalation, and do all we can to keep hate preachers out of the UK and stop the circulation of incitement. Thank you for all that you do, and Jalsa Mubarak.
Jazakallah. Thank you very much. Now we have a number of speakers who are here with us this afternoon. And our first speaker this afternoon, who will be addressing us from the stage, is Alison Bear, who has come all the way from Canada to attend our Jalsa. She is the third Vice Chief of the Federation of Indigenous Sovereign Nations of Canada. She is a very good friend of the Jamaat, and I welcome her and invite her to come and say a few words.
Let me know when I can start. No? Assalamu alaikum. Apetu ashte, atue iohana chiapi tatanka skawi amakia peye wapaha ska oyate tahawahi. Good day. My name is Tatanka Skawi. That means white buffalo woman. I come here from Canada with my brothers and my sisters behind me. I'm honored to be here, and I greet each and every single one of you with a good heart. I am the Vice Chief of the Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations. My good friend Rashid had invited us here, and I'm very honored. This is my first time attending, and I can feel the love, and I can feel welcome, and that's such an honor to be here amongst all of you, because that's something that we are also pushing for in our own communities, in our own country back home. Our people have suffered through genocide. They tried to murder us and take away our culture and take all of our land. And now we continue to rise and we continue to be resilient, but we do that through love. We do that through passing love down from one generation to the next. We do that through prayer, because our grandparents and our grandparents before them and our ancestors pray for 7 generations forward. And those prayers are protecting us. And I believe everything happens for a reason, and that's why we are here today. We're here for a reason. We're here to make new friends. We're here to network. We're here to build bridges, and we're here to uplift one another. I'm very honored to have this time to speak with each and every one of you. And I look forward to building a relationship where we can support each other and to learn from one another, because we know that right now we're coming to a very critical point in society when it comes to the world, when it comes to changes that are happening. And we need to make sure that our youth are spiritually strong, and they know who they are, and they know where they come from, and they know that they have a strong community like this that supports them. So I'm very honored to see the way you take care of one another and the way you take care of your young and your old, because that's exactly how we also govern ourselves as Indigenous peoples back home. But a lot of our ways have been taken from us. So we look forward to continuing this friendship, because we once had treaties of peace and friendship with the Crown, but those treaties have been broken. So we look forward to making new allies in the future as well, because we're also stronger together. And that's why we're here. Love for all, hatred for none. Padamaye.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Our next speaker is Eliasa Kotron Nadia Munawra, who has traveled to Jalsa all the way from Indonesia. She is the daughter of the late Abdul Rahman Wahid, the 4th President of Indonesia. He was the president who welcomed Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Rabi Rahimullah when he visited Indonesia in the year 2000. She's a close friend of the community, and I welcome her to come and say a few words.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin. Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in amma ba'du. Thank you, Jalsa Salana UK, to invite me to speak in this congregation. I am Alisa Wahid from Gus Durian Network Indonesia, a network of the followers of President Wahid, the fourth president of Indonesia, who formally received welcome Hazrat Khalifah of Ahmadiyya the fourth in 2000. And the relationship between the family of President Wahid and the Indonesian Jamaah Ahmadiyah and the global Jamaah Ahmadiyah has still strong up until now through good and challenging times. Now that President Wahid has passed away, I lead the Gus Durian Network Indonesia, an interfaith community to promote humanity and peace. And through the network, we have been working with many local Jamaah Ahmadiyya Indonesia communities, especially whenever there are persecutions and tensions against the Ahmadi communities. Throughout our interactions, all the Ahmadis I have met are wonderful human beings. They are hard workers, shows integrity, humility, collaboration, and very, very respectful. They are peace-loving and full of khidmah, or to contribute to society. And I believe this comes out of the teachings within the Ahmadiyya community. So wherever I am with an Ahmadi, I always see what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us. Khairun nas anfa'uhum linnas. The best of people are those who contribute to society. Even though I know that in many corners of the world, including Indonesia, Ahmadi communities face challenges, I believe it serves to strengthen your faith, not to break it, to build resilience, not to destroy it. I commend you for the growth of Jamaah Ahmadiyya all over the world. It means many people would be khairun nas, with the spirit of love for all, hatred for none. In the world with so much hate, the love you bring is a beacon of hope. I thank you to be the face of Islam, rahmatan lil alamin. Islam as the blessings to the universe alongside many other Muslim organizations. Barakallahu fikum bisiri Fatihah. Wallahul muwafiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Nara Takbir! Islam Ahmadiyyat! Jamaat Ahmadiyya Indonesia! Nara Takbir!
Jazakallah, thank you very much. Our next speaker comes all the way from Niger, Hamid Alagabed, who is the former Prime Minister of Niger. He is also served as the Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Conference from 1989 to 1996. And since 1997, he has been the president of the Rally for Democracy and Progress Party. He's a very good friend of the community, and I welcome him to our Jalsa Salana.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام.
I will beg you to excuse my English because I am coming from a French-speaking country. It is a great honor and a privilege for me to attend this 57th Jalsa Salana. I have been amazed and deeply impacted by the discipline and organization of this grand event, hosting about 50,000 people. I'm very impressed with the empowerment your community is imparting to your youth through the existence of God project. I further was very interested in seeing the prophecy related to the solar and the lunar eclipse and experiencing them as well. I would also like to commend your community's charitable and humanitarian efforts in our home country, Niger, in providing health care and oversight initiatives. In the end, I would once again like to take this opportunity to thank you for inviting me to this event, and I wish you all the success in your further endeavors. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah, thank you very much. Our next speaker comes from Canada. Honorable Carl Seaback is a federal minister of Parliament in Canada. He currently serves as the Shadow Cabinet Minister for International Trade. He is a co-chair of all-party Ahmadiyya Parliamentary Friendship Association in Canada. I welcome him to Jalsa Salana, and I invite him to come and say a few words.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. I've had the pleasure of knowing the Ahmadiyya Muslim community in Canada for over a decade, and you are true servants of your communities. All across my riding, in Brampton and in Caledon, and all across Canada, you engage in such acts of service in our communities through charitable work and serving the community. You are a remarkable community, and you practice what you preach. It is really incredible. I would like to mention the Mubarak Mosque in Brampton. It is an iconic place of worship that serves the community with interfaith dialogues and hosts one of the best Canada Day celebrations in all of Brampton. We look forward to welcoming His Holiness, the Caliph at Mubarak Mosque for the inauguration. Inshallah, that will happen soon. I also serve as the co-chair of the Ahmadiyya Parliamentary Friendship Group, and we know Ahmadi Muslims are committed to peace, justice, and service to humanity. And today, I want to assure everyone, all parliamentarians in Canada, we stand with the community as mosques in Pakistan are desecrated, and as Ahmadi Muslims are violently persecuted by extremists. Citizenship rights are revoked, and Ahmadi lawyers are disbarred. We stand with you, and I can tell you, these are not just words. I want to finish by extending a heartfelt Jalsa Salana Mubarak to everyone here and everyone watching all around the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jazakallah. Our next speaker also comes from Canada. Honorable Lindsay Nettison MP is the federal member of Parliament in Canada. She is the Deputy House Leader for the New Democratic Party and is the co-chair of Ahmadiyya Parliamentary Friendship Association. I welcome her to our Jalsa Salana and ask her to come and say a few words.
To the Ahmadi Muslims here today and watching around the world, Assalamu alaikum. It is an absolute delight to be at the Jalsa Salana in the UK. I would like to congratulate His Holiness and the entire Ahmadiyya Muslim community on the successful annual conventions around the world. I have the honor also of serving as a co-chair of the Ahmadiyya Parliamentary Friendship Association in Canada, and I know the painful reality and challenges facing Ahmadi Muslims in Pakistan, and this is a cause that I am committed to representing and to fight for human rights around the world. Over 10 mosques have already been attacked in Pakistan this year alone, which is horrific and something we must all speak and stand against. It is only by standing together and being united that we can truly achieve fairness and equality. I also serve as a member of parliament in the city of London in Canada, where Ahmadi Muslims have opened 2 mosques. The community has grown quickly, and it adds such incredible beauty to the mosaic that we know in our city. I am proud to represent Ahmadi Muslims, and I look forward to having His Holiness visit us to inaugurate these 2 mosques as well. God bless you all, and Mubarak on a successful Jalsa Salana. Thank you so much.
نعرة تكبير جماعة أحمدية كندا.
Jazakallah, thank you very much. Our next speaker is very much from Hampshire, our local council for Hadiq al-Mahdi. Andy Tree is the councillor for Hampshire County Council and East Hampshire District, home to the Hadiq al-Mahdi, and we're very grateful for their support for this Jalsa throughout the year. Andy is also the leader of White Hill Town Council. He's a very good friend of the community, and I welcome him and invite him to come and say a few words.
Thank you very much for inviting me to speak. This is a very special privilege for me, as this is my local area, and I am the Deputy Leader of East Hampshire District Council, having been accompanied today by colleagues, including the Leader, the Chairman, and also our Town Mayor from Whitehill and Bordon. My first experience interacting directly with the Ahmadiyya Muslim community was at Tilford Mosque, followed by the National Symposium for Peace, where I first had the privilege of meeting His Holiness. For any guest like me who has not read World Crisis and Pathway to Peace by His Holiness, I strongly encourage you to do so. It thoroughly resonates with me, and in particular the positive messages written to world leaders: respect, tolerance, and peace. Locally, I've seen the good work of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, and in particular their charitable contribution to society. Through my friend Imam Adil Shah, who I'm proud to say serves with me on East Hampshire District Council, our council worked with the Ahmadiyya Muslim community to host our charity Walk for Peace. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Our next speaker is a very good friend, Vrinder Sharma MP. Vrinder has been serving as Member of Parliament for Ealing and Southall since 2007. He's currently a long-serving member of the International Development Select Committee and has previously served as a member of the Health Select Committee for 5 years, the Joint Committee of Human Rights for 7 years. Vrinder is the treasurer of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community All-Party Parliamentary Group and a very good personal friend and friend of the Jamaat, familiar to many Ahmadis. It gives me great pleasure to invite him to our Jalsa Salana and ask him to come and say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum. It's a great honor and a privilege for me to come with my colleagues from the House of Commons today, bringing you the greetings from my constituents from Ealing Southall, especially from London Borough of Ealing. It's my great honor and a privilege to work with the community for the last over 35 years in my own constituency in Ealing Southall. It's a pleasure to observe and see the practicalities that faith gives to the community. We have all witnessed the contributions made by the community during the COVID period to provide food and shelter in that area, wherever they live. It was irrespective of their race, faith, and color. That is the service, and I can see that love for all, hate for none. The slogan and the theme we all have taken in the past and will be taking in the future as well. I'm glad that in my own constituency, many community members have provided the services, not only during the COVID or others, but regularly working together on the interfaith, making sure we demonstrate the equality and the unity together to bring peace and prosperity for all. I'm personally thankful to the community, Hazur Sahib especially, for his guidance, advice, and the support for the community causes for all of us, where we can bring unity and equality for all. Once again, thank you very much, and I convey my message to all of you. Come together, work together, bring peace and prosperity for all so that we can have a wonderful society where we are living. My personal thanks to Hazur Sahib and to the whole community to bringing together once again after many years to bring the people together in this area. God bless you all. Thank you.
Nare Takbir! Khilafat Ahmadiyya! Jamaat Ahmadiyya UK!
Thank you very much, Vinda. Our next speaker is also a Member of Parliament. Jonathan Lord, MP, has been serving as a Member of Parliament for Woking since 2010 and has served on the Commons General Committee. He's a very good friend of the Jamaat and has attended a number of our events, including is currently the Vice Chair of the APPG of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. He has also met with Hazur Anwar and shared his thoughts. It is a great pleasure for me to invite him and ask him to come and say a few words.
On behalf of the residents of Woking and Surrey, I extend my congratulations to you on the occasion of this 57th Jalsa Salana, the UK's largest Muslim gathering. Your commitment to promoting peace, justice and tolerance across the world is truly commendable. As you gather for this year's Jalsa Salana, I want to extend my heartfelt support and solidarity to you during these challenging times. It pains me to know that your community faces persecution in Pakistan and in too many other places around the world. In the face of such uncertainties in the international situation, let us remember key values that unite us all: the shared belief in freedom and, in particular, the freedom to worship. The wonderful Ahmadiyya Muslim motto of love for all, hatred for none should resonate with people of all faiths and religions. So my warm best wishes go out to all of you participating in this year's Jalsa Salana. May it, inshallah, be a moment of strength and of unity, reinforcing the importance of peace and love in our world. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Our next speaker is another old friend, Stephen Hammond, Member of Parliament. Stephen has been a Member of Parliament for Wimbledon since 2005, the constituency where Battle Fatu Mosque is located. He has served as the Minister of State for Health and as a Parliamentary Under-Secretary of State for Transport. Stephen is also the Secretary of the APPG for the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. He is a long-standing friend of the Jamaat and has visited various conventions before. I welcome him once again and invite him to say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum. I was elected Member of Parliament on the 5th of May 2005, and 2 months later I came and spoke at my first Jalsa, and it's a great privilege and honour to be invited back to say a few words again today. The message of love for all, hatred for none is a great message across the world. But as someone who has the Batai Fatul Mosque in my constituency, I know it means more than just words. The practical action that we see locally in our community and across communities in the United Kingdom is hugely beneficial and is without fear or favour and without respect for any religion and for all. The other key message today, it seems to me, is that the work has been said several times about the all-parliamentary group. There are many all-parliamentary groups in the Houses of Parliament, but in particular the one for the Ahmadiyya community has become increasingly influential and important. Persecution and the interference of people's right to worship the God they wish to worship cannot be tolerated. And so the work of our group is very much to force and work with the British government to make sure representations are made as strongly as possible to governments, particularly the Pakistani government. So as you stay here for your 57th Jalsa Salana, can I say to you, thank you. Continue the message, love for all, hatred for none, because it means so much to so many people across the world.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Our next Member of Parliament is also a good friend, Dean Russell, who is the Member of Parliament for Watford. He has previously served as the Parliamentary Under-Secretary for the Department of Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. He's a close friend of the Jamaat and has been very supportive of our local Jamaat campaigns in Watford. Dean is also a member of the APPG, the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community Parliamentary Group, and I also have had the honor of, and he has also had the honor of meeting Huzur Anwar earlier this year. I'm pleased to invite him and ask him to come and say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum. I thank you so much for inviting me here today, to be part of this incredible celebration and event. I've been very fortunate to meet His Holiness earlier this year, and we spoke about important matters of love and peace and community. And what I hear whenever I speak to my fantastic community of Ahmadiyya Muslims in my own constituency in Watford is the exhibition of that on the ground through their activities supporting people in our community, by working together across all faiths, by bringing people together. And I often say that if we have peace in ourselves, we do not wish to create conflict with others. We are but a tapestry, a story in our communities where individually we are threads that can be easily broken. But when we're weaved together as a community, as a tapestry, we are unbroken. And I see in the community here that we cannot be broken. We will work together. And that's why it breaks my heart when I hear of the persecution around the world. I stand with you, shoulder to shoulder, as I did with the Ahmadiyya Muslim community in my own constituency when we helped people through COVID, when we took food to people to help them when they were struggling, to help them be the best that they can be. So I mean it when I say it, that I stand with you when we say love for all, hatred for none. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our final speaker this afternoon is Damien Hind, MP. He was elected in 2010 as Member of Parliament for East Hampshire, which includes Sadiqatul Mahdi. In Parliament, Damien is currently serving as the Minister of State for Prisons, Parole and Probation. His previous roles include Secretary of State for Education, Minister of Secretary of Employment, and Exchequer Secretary for the Treasury. Damien is a very good friend of the community and gives me great pleasure to welcome him back once again to Jalsa Salana and ask him to come and say a few words.
Your Holiness, distinguished guests, delegates from around the world, it's my privilege to extend my welcome on behalf of the people of East Hampshire to the Ahmadiyya Muslim community here at Adika Tulmati, or as it's known locally, Oaklands Farm in East Weldon. I am the Member of Parliament that represents right here, East Hampshire, and we are very proud to have you with us. Last week, I was with my family on Wednesday and Thursday in Assisi. It's a small hilltop town in Umbria in Italy, but attracts visitors from right around the world to feel the peace of the Basilica of St. Francis. It was my first time there, and it was a very special and moving experience. When we came back to this country and landed at Heathrow Airport, after we came through the baggage collection area, the very first thing that my family saw was a man holding a sign that said Jalsa Salana. And as we drove back to this part of Hampshire, we saw more and more of those little yellow AA signs with the directions for how you come here to Jalsa Salana. The signs were literally pointing the way, and I felt a great sense of anticipation. You have come here by land, by sea, and by air to make this the incredibly special convention that it is. On that journey, friends, I was struck by all that we have in common, by the importance of faith to bring people together, and all that people of faith can do for good in the world. You live out that calling, encapsulated so succinctly in the phrase, love for all, hatred for none. And you reach out the hand of friendship and of practical support, charitable works, and nurture far beyond this community. It's embodied in the Walk for Peace that happens internationally, nationally, and locally. And I was delighted this year once again to be able to join our own East Hampshire Walk for Peace, raising money for 26 local charities. But just as important, building bridges of understanding and ties of friendship. We in East Hampshire are proud of our association with the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Through the proximity, the closeness to the Mubarak Mosque in Tilford, and especially through the honour of being able to host the site of Jalsa Salana. I do hope that while you're here, you may also have an opportunity to see some more of what this part of England has to offer. The historic town of Alton that many of you will have come through on the train, the home of Jane Austen in the village of Chawton, the gorgeous South Downs, enchanting walks, and beautiful English villages. Thank you, friends, for making this occasion here in East Hampshire, and I wish you all a joyful, a peaceful, and a prayerful Jalsa.